Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you guys real simple method to make some char cloth, which is really good to have on hand for hiking, anything as far as being in the woods. It's a great starter for fires, easy to keep. You can put it in bags, you can put it in tins, you can keep it in whatever you want, and it lights super quick and you can get fires going super easy. Now all you're going to need is you're going to need some Levi's that you cut up, you're going to need 2 cans, and then fire. So concept of what we're going to do here is we need to put the Levi's within our small can. They just go in like that, nothing special, don't need to worry about anything. We'll put that lid on, I'll hammer that down tighter. We want that tight because we don't want any fire to get inside this can. We're going to be using this can to put the wood in and burn this in top, and it's going to dehydrate that and turn it into a char cloth. So we're going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to get everything filled and we'll get started over at the campfire. Okay, so we're back here at the campfire now. I got this. I want to make sure I give it a little snug fit. We want to make sure nothing comes out of that. And then I'm going to grab the camera here and I'm going to show you I've taken and put sticks in with some smaller pieces, some accelerant as far as like pine needles, and we're just simply going to set this right in the middle of here. I'm going to hand this back, and then we're going to take some smaller sticks and we're going to feed these down the sides because we want to get it all covered with wood. We want to get as much fire coming out of this as we can to heat it up. This is also another process that you can do with actual wood to make charcoal wood. Same process, different material in the can. Keep stuffing some of this in here. We want to get a good flame going around this whole can so it heats everything up inside of it, but it doesn't burn what's inside. And what's cool is you're going to see as it's taking the moisture out of the cloth, it's going to light the top of that can on fire. That stuff is actually flammable. Okay, and then I have another pile of feeder sticks so that as we burn down, I can add some stuff to the fuel. And we're just gonna find some here, try and get a little flame going. I'm gonna do this the cheat way. I'm just trying to show you guys. I'll show you what the ferro rod can do to the char cloth later, and fat wood even. Just gonna stick this in here and get this going. That should start taking off here pretty soon. There we go. Now we got some flames coming out of the top. We're just basically gonna let this sit here and burn. And what it's doing is it's cooking everything inside this can and turning it into a char. We'll have fibrous char cloth later, which I'll show you how it breaks apart and how easily it is to start. Obviously I don't need it right now because it's dry and I got pine needles. You can already see some of the smoke starting to come out of that can. And it doesn't actually take very long to do this. Ooh. Make sure you get a good burn. Throw these in to keep holding that can up because your can will fall. You can modify this and add wire to the inside to keep your can up above everything, but that's not necessary. It's just a very simple process. All right, see now we got the flame coming off the can. If you get in close to that, you can see where it's, I'll give it a little shadow. That shows that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's getting all of that moisture out of the cloth that's in there. We can go ahead and pause it for right now because okay, so I need to add some more wood. I'm just gonna grab some tongs here so that I can lift it up, have my wood ready here. I'm just gonna add some more into the bottom, give it a little something to stand on. And once I set that back down, that should be enough to keep going. That's a lot of flame coming out of that. See, that's all that moisture turns into a gas. All right, we're gonna let that finish up and then I'll show you what we do afterwards. We're almost done. Okay, so we've finally letting it get, we put it on maybe about 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. I'm gonna hand the camera over here real quick. And all we're gonna do is we want to pull this guy out. Very hot, don't touch. Blow any flame. Now, we want to set this off to the side and let this fully cool. I'm gonna put a lid over the top of it that will keep any oxygen from getting inside that can, because as soon as that can starts to get oxygen, that char cloth is gonna light on fire. So we wanna let it completely cool with no air contact. If you do happen to open it up, you notice it smoking, you can try and close it again real quick. Sometimes you don't catch it in time and you lose it, so you just got to do it again. So that's basically it. Now we're going to let this cool, and I will show you guys after we're ready to get our fire going how we use that char cloth to start our fires. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what we use the char cloth for, but I'm also going to show you some fat wood. Fat wood is a really good fire starter. It takes a flame very easily because it's very resonated with sap. All you want to do is you want to make small shavings like this. You don't want super big shavings, just something that will easily take a flame, not a flame, but a ferro rod spark, because I'm going to show you guys how to do this with a ferro rod. This is why I make these things, because I like to start my fires using primitive, not really primitive, but using the ferro rod. It's something that you can always have. You don't have to worry about it getting wet. So we're just going to put some shavings like that. Then I have some already dried char cloth, so I'm letting my other stuff cure, and I'm going to pull this out. As you can see, it's very fibrous. You can still see the Levi kind of designs of the stitching in there, and all we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're going to fray it out. We're going to make it into a real fine. It sucks with the wind. You want to give that spark something to ignite. And then of course always have your wood pile and your shavings and everything ready to go to get your actual fire going. So we're gonna just kind of break this all apart here. Now I got two different types of accelerants here. Now we're going to go ahead and pause it so I can reposition myself. Let me see, is there... Okay, so now I'm back here. Got my chair out of the way so I can stand up. I've got my ferro rod with my striker. These are really cool. All you got to do, you want to have some kind of a wind back because it helps bounce your sparks back. But look at that, already started. See how quickly that goes? Start adding some of that. Add a little bit of the wood. And just like that, you have yourself a nice fire going, and we can now get it down into our fire pit. Start it with the small stuff. Just kind of build a teepee, don't smother it. And there you go, fire's going. Okay, so we are going to show you the final product. This is cooled off enough now. We can go ahead and open this up and get our char cloth out of there. Maybe. Let me just use my feet here. Sorry for my dirty feet, but I'm camping. I don't care. You just get this right off the top.
My potato salad.
And inside, you should have, can't really see it, but I'm going to pour it out. There is our char cloth. And you store this in the bags, however you want to store it. And like you saw earlier, that goes up incredibly quick. So, simple, easy steps, got an easy fire starter.